Hello, kiddies. Dr. Freedom here with the time. Some doctor news. I got to make this quick and dirty. Quick and dirtier than you'd normally like it. And extra dirty. No, yeah, the roof's being done, and right now I've got a lull between the storms, so I'm hoping that means they're taking a little dinner break so I can shoot this for you really quick before they go back to hammering, nailing, and driving my cats insane. Have you ever lived with cats? The cat gets driven insane. It drives you insane. But okay, let's get to the stuff you want to hear. Yeah, Death Moon 10 being made. I'm already pretty much close to done with scene 1. Death Moon 11 already being written. You know, the detailed script for it. And I hope you're all enjoying those. We're having fun making them. So also, you know, you got Comes the Inquisitor coming later this year. And I'm going to try to get some more roles into that. I'm still on the outline of it, doing the rough draft and whatnot. So, okay, let's get into what I have. Let's see what you want to see. Let's do what you want to do. Baby, quick and dirty. Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get onto it. All right, first off, on the top here, we've got Oxygen the trailer. Oxygen the flamethrower. No. That's Spaceballs. But if you want to watch this little bit right here, there's some interesting bits in here that wasn't in the Next Time trailer. Not much there, but still, it's interesting watch. Moving on. If you go to this page here on the BBC One page, I'm just going to leave you a link to the page itself. We already have Peter and Pearl preview a brutal adventure in space. Peter and Pearl preview a brutal adventure in space. And we got Steve Moffat introduces Oxygen. All right, 10 teasers for Oxygen. Yeah, let's see if they get anywhere near the mark like their last couple have been. All right. One could argue that the first 4 words of this episode are the most famous in all science fiction. In space, no one can hear you daydream. I don't remember that constellation. What's this got to do with crop rotation? Nardole asks for something unreasonable. The Doctor and Bill go camping. We hear the Doctor's theme tune. No, not that one. There's one trait that Nardole and actor Matt Lucas do not have in common. There's a link between this week's threat and Nardole's past. Nardole. Okay. The lesson on superpowers from Listen gets mentioned. All right. So, also, I'm hearing there's supposed to be a very interesting plot twist at the end of this one, okay? Okay, quickly. Thin Ice official ratings. Thin Ice came in officially... Well, people are already freaking out. They're like, it came in with a total of consolidated 5.51 million viewers. Now, a lot of you are freaking out. But guess what? And they're like, oh, my God, it's the 25th most watched program on TV. It's getting canceled. Guess what? Second highest rated program for the BBC for Saturday night. Just barely beat up by All Around Mrs. Brown's. So, there you go. All right. Hang on a second. I hear it moving up there, so I better hurry. All right. We got some pics for Oxygen. Sorry if I'm hurrying, but you've already heard footsteps probably starting, which means soon the hammering and the nailing's going to start again. Oxygen, new images. If you want to go scroll through these, boom, boom, just click on each of these. There's also Far, Far Away. I tend to go to here also because it's easier to find. One of these days I'll probably start going to them. These are really good high-res stuff, so if you want to, for wallpapers, whatnot. Okay, pyramid at the end of the world, synopsis. Okay, here we go. A 5,000-year-old pyramid stands at the center of a war zone where the Chinese, Russian, and American armies are about to clash. There are many problems with that, but the one that intrigues the Doctor is this. There was not a pyramid there yesterday. Hang on. I can't do that voice anymore. Let's go for Tobias from Death Valley. The Doctor, Bill, and Nardole face an alien invasion unlike any other. And before conquest can begin, these aliens need the consent of the human race. What a bunch of dumbasses. All right. So you can probably hear them banging. Caves of Androzani is going to get a German DVD release. So if you're in Germany, that is good for you. All these DVDs are by Panda Storm Pictures and are usually code-free. This DVD is not yet available for pre-order, so keep your eyes out for details on this. All right. What I also love when they do these in frickin' Germany, look at the damn cover art. I'm not kidding. The cover. They also did the entire Series 7 for, not Series 7. I mean, the entire 7th Doctor came in a box set for Germany. And Yeah, we ain't even got that here yet, those jackasses. Oh, well. Okay, so if you want more info on this, keep up with this link right here, Panda Storm Pictures, and also it's on their Facebook page. So if you're in Germany and you want this, boom, moving on. Doctor Who behind the scenes causes of regeneration. This is a very interesting article if you want to read it. And they're trying to claim the thing was this, as you saw in Adventure in Space Time, William Hartnell left because his health was failing. He had advanced arteriosclerosis. It was beginning to affect his memory. He could no longer remember lines at all, barely. So, matter of fact, Pat Troughton, he basically said, I did 3 years and left. John Pertwee, the main reason, one of the things was like this, was the fact that Roger Delgado, who passed away in 1973, had passed away in a car accident, and that was one of the reasons John left. He was a very dear friend, and, that was one of the contributing factors. Lagopoulos, Tom basically apologized for being on too long. Peter Davis and blah, blah. He said, now, I can't believe they didn't put this in here. Maybe I missed it. But he implied that it was Patrick Troughton's advice that he only stayed for 3 years. I can't believe they didn't put that. Colin Baker, fired. All right. And trust me, there's a long story to this. Look this up as much as you can. He got boned. He got boned so hard. Okay, I'm not going to give an analogy for that. Sylvester McCoy, he agreed to do the movie, to do the regeneration handover for 1996 because he didn't get a chance to do it because Doctor Who had been canceled in 89. Paul McGann, interesting story there, especially you came back and did Night of the Doctor, that 7-minute mini-sode so they could legitimize the War Doctor and get him into the era of the Zygons without anybody complaining. Thing was, I am still strongly on the position that while I enjoyed John Hurt's performance, there was no reason on God's green earth that Paul McGann could not have contributed to that episode. He looked no different from the time he did in 1996. There was no reason he could not have taken part in it. And they completely boned him out of that because Eccleston said no, McGann would not have. If I remember, he was completely available to work around that time. And you're probably going, get off the subject, old man. It's a dead one. Okay. Okay, Dave Tennant giving his version. Basically, Dave Tennant left because RTD, Julie Gardner, and everybody else was getting the hell out of there. I think he felt it would have been kind of weird to stay. So he kind of like the family's leaving. You can hear him walking. All right, so if you want to read to this, it's a very interesting thing. It's not a bad little article. It gives you a little summary. But if you really want the real story, do a little more research into it. It's very brief for each one. All right. Geoffrey Bayldon passed away. Unfortunately, some of you may remember him as Organon from Creature from the Pit, the astrologer who got thrown down there with Urato, the giant condom monster who looks like a giant trash bag with a condom attached. You remember that Urato, the creature from whatever it was, Well, all right, so Creature from the Pit. He was also in many, many other things, but he did make it to 93 years old. I am like 46 this year. I would love to be able to say, wow, I lived 93 years. That's a good run. Very good innings. He was also in Cat Weasel, which a lot of people know him from. So, and also he played a part, I believe, in Wurzel Gummidge. So, forgive me, I always pronounce that show wrong. John Pertwee went on to do that well after Doctor Who. So very sad to hear that. Sorry, okay, and I left that up. Okay. This is the one, according to TV Guide, they're saying, sorry, Fleabag fans, Phoebe WallerBridge is not the next Doctor on BBC's Doctor Who. The thing is, I've been talking about this quite a bit because even I was trying to figure out why she was the front runner in the betting because, as it says right here, she's got Fleabag coming back. She's going to be in the Han Solo movie. She's got a full load. So I don't see how they even thought she was going to have time to do Doctor Who. Whew, sounds like I made it. Yeah, the rest of the day, there was a lot of hammering going on and all that up there because we decided to get the roof done because we suffered some damage. We had like 80-mile winds out here like a month or so ago, and it took some of the shingles off, and then we made the decision to get the whole damn thing done. So, because I'm basically at a croak in this house, okay? It's like I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, so until next time, everybody, keep in mind, Death Moon 10 is on the way. It's being edited as you speak. As you speak, and as I speak. And we all speak together for the great business of the all. Oh, well, just Death Moon 11 being written. So everybody take care, ta-ta. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good one.